All right. So we covered economies of scale, and we have discussed all the types of economies of scale and that. Now, another concept which is there, that is fixed economy. Now, this is exactly opposite of economies of scale, and this also is linked with increasing the scale of production. When you expand your business, okay, by hiring more labor, capital, land, okay, and even enterprise uh, is increased, you get certain drawbacks. Economies of scale is about certain benefits which lead to lower average cost of a business, right? And we discussed there are many ways in which average cost can be reduced, and there are different types of economies of scale which can do that. Now, this economies of scale, these are the drawbacks which are experienced by those businesses which are operating on a large scale. Okay, so now what happens? It actually leads business to higher average cost. Now let's see why it happens and why a business has higher average cost when they increase their scale of production or when they expand. One is poor communication. Blah 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 blah. That means you do not understand anything. Whatever is communicating to you, and the reason is when there are obviously when scale of production will increase, there will be lots of people to work there as well. Now, there will be a gap between the management and the workers who are working on the front, right? The front line workers. And manager may not have enough time to talk to every single worker, right? Because earlier, let's say if there were 10 workers, so it was easier to listen to the problems of the workers and then addressing to them on individual basis. Now, because the business is large and manager cannot communicate it to every employee, so what happens? Information is passed from too many people, okay, to be reached to a certain person. So then there could be a problem. Let me just show it to you with uh, a structure, that is what we call organizational structure. You have studied that in your previous classes. Let's say uh, this is the CEO. This is who? CEO of the business. Just a minute. CEO. Okay, the top ranked management level. And let's say down below there is a manager. Okay, a person who is working there. Then somebody is there as well, and somebody is there as well. Now, if this is the structure of the organization, if the CEO can communicate to all three of them personally, and there will be clear communication that will be received by all these lower level managers. Okay, these are the managers, and we can call them. Okay, so you understood this, huh? And we call them subordinates. Subordinates are the people who work under a manager. The CEO is the top level man, a part of top level management. And who has the overall responsibility. So down below there are three people working. Okay, or if so if this is the case, communication becomes easier. It will be clear, and subordinates these three people, they will be working accordingly, whatever that will be instructed by the CEO. But think about another business, that is, I'm going to increase the scale of the business. Now, let's say this is the CEO, right? And let's say there are three people working there as well under CEO, and then further Down below there are three further people there who are working under this manager, right? And then there are further two who are working under this. Now you can see that there are lots of management levels. This is first level, this is second, this is third. Here, there is only one level, right? Now, one thing, information will take more time. For example, if CEO wants to communicate something to this person, right? Now, CEO cannot communicate directly. And obviously, our business is our CEO is busy in more important tasks or busy in taking more important decisions. So what will happen? CEO actually will communicate uh, to that person who is the immediate subordinate. That person will communicate to his subordinate or her subordinate, that is this person. Then it will be further communicated to this person. Right? This is the way messages are sent in the organization. So now you can see that there are too many people involved. Now. First, the information was passed and reached here. Then the person sends a message to that person. Their information reaches there. Then it is finally received by the person, okay, to whom it was intended. जिसको भेजी जानी थी, वो पहुंच गई. Now because there are too many people involved right there, so it means information is more likely to be distorted. It may not remain in its original form. You know there is a game Chinese Whisper. In Chinese Whisper, you know what is it? Huh? In that game, actually one whispers in the ears of one person and then that person whispers in the ear of another person who is next to him or her, and then it continues. And the last person then actually tells what was actually said. And all people, they actually laugh at it because the information or the message completely changes its form. Okay, the message does not remain the same. So that is the drawback, that when there are too many people involved, sending message down or to the intended person, message is more likely to lose its original form. When this happens, employees, they do not get the right information, right? They do not get the right message, and they act accordingly based on that incorrect understanding or the message, and mistakes happen. And mistakes leads to higher cost, and that can result into yes, so higher cost leads to higher average cost. So I told you while explaining this economy scale, you have to end your point by saying how it will lead to higher average cost, because that is this economy of scale all about. So, uh, wrong message or message loses its shape when it reaches to the person for which it was intended. Then person acts upon it based on the wrong message, and then mistakes happen. That leads to higher average cost. For example, a wrong quantity of products are produced. Okay, actually it was required 10. The worker produces 20. Now who is going to buy the rest of the 20? Nobody. So you have to just throw it somewhere. So that way there will be a lot of wastage. That will increase the average cost of the business there. Right? So this is one, and this happens when the business size is large. Business is operating on a large scale. Right? Any question from your side regarding? Okay, let me just finish it, then you can ask me questions. Slow decision making. So yes, that is also part of this economy of scale, being large in size. And why it happens? Because there are too many people involved. Okay, and that's why message takes more time to be sent. So one example I gave you, that message is likely to lose its shape, right? I wrote there, na? Message is likely to lose its original shape. Okay, and mistakes happen, and I just explained it to you. Second is that it will take more time to send the message to a person, right? So especially in case of urgent messages where message needs to be sent quickly, so in a large business it gets difficult because large businesses they take more time. Message starts from the top right there. Uh, you can see that in a large business right there, and then it slowly moves downwards. So it takes time. And if time is money that you have to take a decision quickly, there will be a problem. Right? Like for example, okay, so it takes time. Why there is a problem? For example, you have requested your supplier to deliver a certain quality of raw material. Okay, then you realize after some time that maybe wrong quality of raw material was ordered, and you like to change the order. That we do not want this quality. Now there is a change there, as far as the quality of the raw material is concerned. Now you have to send the message quickly. But in a large business, because there are too many people involved, and message actually passes down slowly to the intended person because too many people are there. So what happens? What will happen in that case? The supplier will deliver the wrong quality of raw material and will say, I am not to blame. The supplier will say, I am not to blame because I received your message late. At the time, I actually sent those goods, sent the raw material to you. I delivered it. So there was no taking back as far as the raw material is concerned. So those wrong quality of raw material cannot be used in the production now. So that will increase the average cost of the business because it will be a wastage for them. So it will also, so you can now see that how slow decision making can also lead to higher average cost. And why there is slow decision making, I just explained. Then we have, let me see, yeah, so slow decision making, I just explained it to you. Then low morale. Now, low morale means low motivation. You are down in spirit. Now this happens when you are facing problems. Okay, the problem could be back at your home, or it can be work related problem. Okay, and you are not getting the attention of the manager. For example, uh, let's say you are a machine operator. You operate a machine, right? And now there is some problem in the machine, and machine gets stuck time and again when you are performing your job. And you have a target ahead that you have to produce, let's say, 20 items in a day. And now you are not able to do it because there is a problem in the machine. And you are actually trying to convey to the manager, but it is taking time. Okay, and or manager is not able to attend to you because there are lots of workers manager has to deal with. So that worker is completely ignored. Now that worker will be demotivated. That okay, it's not my fault, but still I won't be able to meet the target, and then I will be the one who will be responsible. So that is not fair. So the employee will start thinking that way. Okay, so when this will happen, demotivation will prevail, and the worker will stop working to their potential. All workers, right? And when this will happen, obviously the products may get damaged. They may not be of the required quality. They may require rework because the product is not of the quality which is required or not up to the standard. So it will increase the average cost of the business as well, just because of the low motivation of the worker. And why low motivation happened, I just explained. But in smaller businesses, it's okay. This is one example. Second is, for example, you have a problem back at your home, okay, and you want, let's say, 2 days off, okay, and for that you want to meet the manager. Manager does not have time. You wait outside the manager's office for hours, but manager never meets you because manager is busy. Because the organization is so big, the manager is actually busy in dealing other affairs of the business, dealing with other workers, for example, other issues. So it means that the problem is not solved back at your home. So obviously you get in trouble. Obviously there are lots of things which are going in your mind. You get tense as well, and it affects your performance as well. And when your performance is affected, as quality is affected or output is affected, and not enough goods are produced, not quality is not produced up to the standard, resulting in higher average cost of the business as well. So if manager meets you, as you can see in the picture, manager meets you and resolves all the issues you have. Either it is work related or it is back at home. If manager meets you, knows you well, and soothes you out by suggesting you what to do or accepts your application for taking 2 days off, so in that way the morale will be up. But here in large organizations, so this the reverse is true, and that is the cause of higher average cost, and we call it diseconomy cost. All right. Any question regarding these three?
Sir,
This, yeah.
why would the manager would solve home issues?
Yeah, okay, yes, that is very, very important. I'm telling you. Reason is, now it's a very good question. Why managers have to do with the issues which are there back at home? Very good question. Now, the problem is manager has to see whether the business is getting profits, whether business is going on successfully, well, or the right amount of output is being produced, right quality is being produced, customers are being served in the manner they want, or customers are fully satisfied or not. For that, workers must be in a frame of mind where they can perform in the best possible way. So if they won't solve the problem back at home, okay, like let's say giving them the next month's salary as well in the same month, okay, or giving them maybe 2 days so that they can solve their issue back at home and come back fresh. So if they won't solve, it will affect the performance of the worker or workers, and eventually business average cost will increase. Customers will not be satisfied, so eventually business is going to lose. That's why you have to, otherwise there is one solution: fire the workers, that's it. But how many workers you can fire? Because all workers, they have some issues, they are humans, na? So they all have families and they all have some issues there. So you know, you need to understand as a professional manager, if they have some issues, you need to address to them. Because if you won't address and you say this is your problem, this is not ours, it is going to affect the performance of the employees. I'm telling you, maybe to a smaller extent or to a greater extent. That's why to avoid that, you resolve those issues as well. Jaya got
Sir,
it?
but sir,
Yeah.
but I never heard that manager जाति मसले भी हल करता है.
Yeah, okay, no, listen, listen. It's not about personal issues, listen. It's about all those issues which are linked with the performance of the worker. Right? I told you worker is not well and worker wants 2 days leave. Manager says no, you are not allowed. Now worker will get even further ill, and now worker will be maybe taking days off for a month, right? Similarly, if you do not resolve the issue of the worker, now it's not actually an extra favor. I'm saying normally workers take days off, you know that, okay? But assigning, accepting the application of the worker for the that is leave application in the same month for 2 consecutive days, this is a favor, not an extra favor. This is the right of the worker. So I'm not saying that you need to go an extra mile as a business manager. No, similarly, if the worker asks for some amount of money, you can say, all right, we'll provide you an extra money, but we'll deduct it from your next month's salary. So your next month's salary will not be of the same amount. So again, this is a favor, but not an extra favor because you are not giving it from your own pocket. You will be deducting it from the wage of the employee next month. So this is a kind of favor which is given. I'm telling you, you will in A levels you will study that. There is a concept. You can search Google as well, right? Yeah, yeah. For you, work-life balance. There is a concept. What? Because in O levels, we do not need to extend that work-life balance. So managers, they try to maintain the balance between the personal life and the professional life of the employee. So if the employees they find it too hectic, like let's say they are now working extra hours overtime because there is peak season. So maybe when off peak season comes, they say, all right, now there is a 1 month break. You will be given the salary and you can just take time, get rest. So this is what we call work-life balance. Sometimes they say, can you
Sir,
imagine?
I got your point.
Okay, all right. Okay. So any other question?
No, sir,
No.
thank you.
All right. Okay. So moving onwards, this is not in our syllabus. I'm not going to talk about that. Uh, Let me talk about the question takeaway. And because this was not, now this is not in your syllabus. So now you can see the question. All right. What is meant by variable cost? It's easy. You understand it. Uh, Identify two examples of fixed costs for a business running a saloon. Huh? Yeah, but okay. Variable cost, so you know about it. Okay. So we are not going to discuss. Uh, Examples of fixed costs. Yes, Manha, can you give an example of a fixed cost for a business running a saloon? Manha. Manha West?
Yes, sir. Sir, the example for saloon can be the rent for the building.
Very good. The rent of the shop where the services are provided. Very good. That's right. Abdullah Zahid, any other fixed cost you know about a saloon? Abdullah Zahid. Abdullah, no
सर
idea?
इसका माइक नहीं चल
Okay,
सर उसका
Yahya, you
माइक
can.
काम नहीं
Okay, Yahya, you can tell.
सर बिजली का बिल
Okay, all right. Electricity bill, because they might be using some electronic item as well while providing a service. That's right. Or the salaries of the workers, na, who are there to have a haircut of the clients who visit the saloon. And the salaries are fixed. Doesn't matter whether the clients come or not, they get the same salary. Okay, then how much profit a business makes in 1 week? That is the question you need to ask, you need to answer, but I'll get to it later. Or okay, we can address it because then we can continue the next class. How can we calculate the profit? Can you work it out? Okay, I think time is running out because 12:30 is the ending time. So we can continue from question number 3, okay, and the rest of the question as well because we won't move forward to the next chapter unless and until we discuss some of the past paper questions. These are the past paper questions, and I will be solving one of the past paper question as well to get you some idea. I told you that we will keep on practicing past paper questions as well. Okay, now I will. This is today. Today is Friday, so over the weekend, Friday is the deadline. You know that. Submit your work so that I can check it over the weekend, and then I will share the checked work with you after the weekend, right? So that is all, and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you very much.
चार पैसे
Good afternoon.